Welcome back to the Truth Hurts, where we expose corrupt politicians, the lying corporate media, and all those other assholes out in north of Richmond. We're going to get into that video, by the way. If you don't know what I'm talking about, viral video, really cool. I think we're going to actually have a disagreement in this studio on that video. As we were going through our pre-show, William had some comments for like, what are you talking about? So I don't want to spoil it.
Why are you singling me out here, Dawson?
Because everyone else seemed to understand it, and you were kind of like pushing against us.
I understand it. Well, I am a natural contrarian, but also at the same time, I think it's more universal than you're making it out to be.
Okay, well, we'll let the audience decide. We'll get into that. We got a lot of important stuff to get to. We are going to talk about the Walz rebate checks. You should be grateful. Thank you, Governor Walz, for locking us down first and then giving us some crumbs back. Oh, we thank you so much. Now, you overtaxed us by, what was it, $8,000 per taxpayer, basically. But thank you for giving us the crumbs back. $260 may or not, may land in your account this week. We'll see. Apparently not all of us are getting that back this week. Going to get into that. We're going to break down their press conference, where it's got the tax witch Aisha Gomez joining him, Paul Marquardt, the commissioner, and Senator and I Need a Seat to Rest will be in that press conference too. Then we're going to talk about NASA's propaganda and climate change, and you'll never guess what the way to solve the climate catastrophe is. It's crazy. Target misses on sales and earnings are lowered, and then we'll get into that video as I mentioned. So we've got a good show for you today. Joining me as usual is none other than MAGA Jesse. How you doing there, buddy?
Oh yeah, doing good. I hope we also get some time to expose these Maui laser beams as well from the space.
Whoa,
you know, whether it's China, whether it's somebody else, somebody's doing it. It's an inside job.
I didn't want to bring that up in the beginning because you didn't put that in the show notes. So we'll see what's on Jesse's mind at that point. William Beck, part of the Political Junkies.
I'm just trying to avoid us a libel suit. Or it would be slander in this case, but
no, it's just an opinion. It's
they can
just
get
my,
Alex Jones for Sandy Hook.
Just my
they
perspective.
Can get anyone.
Well, you know what?
This isn't Sandy Hook level. This is just me saying, you know, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm saying it happened.
No, you just did.
I'm saying no. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm saying how it happened is what's in question.
Yeah, it's like that Cartman thing where he's like the conspiracy guy. I'm just asking questions. I don't know. I'm just asking the questions. Mm-hmm. You know, Joe Rogan says that the Anthony Fauci book would be ripe for if it was all what RFK
You're
wrote.
Talking about RFK.
Yeah,
okay.
if what he wrote was false, it would be ripe with you know, libel claims, defamation, all that stuff. But there's no lawsuits against RFK on it. Mm-hmm. Makes you think it's true, right? Otherwise, why would you go after
would think
the book?
Fauci would sue regardless of if it's true or false.
No, not if he has to expose something because there's discovery in a civil case.
Right.
Well, that's not the best way to go about seeing if something's true, because we're a little operation like us, we could be sued out of existence.
Now, don't say something like that on air. Let's start over again. We don't.
Say what?
I think pretty much everyone knows we're not that big, you know. But don't goat them into like doing that.
We have billions of dollars.
Yeah, one. Well, now we're gonna have $260 in our account, I guess. There you go. How much will that get us? Half an hour of legal advice.
Actually, someone. I'm sorry, I interrupted your intro, but on YouTube, someone got their $260. Ken A says, "Hello, Action for Liberty. Got my $260. I thought they promised $1,000 for single people and $2,000 for couples."
Yeah. Oh God, I'm old enough to remember that too. We're gonna get into how it's the Republicans' fault, according to Walz, on why you didn't get the bigger checks. And last I checked, the Democrats are in full control. Running the dials as always. Deep State Dawson, how you doing there, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited to have $260 that I get to pay on for gas.
Yeah,
I need to drive places real bad.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you filed your tax return, right?
Oh, I always file my tax return. Well,
there
my grandpa does it for me because he works for the IRS. But
oh,
another element.
Well, we didn't know that.
Deep state.
Oh, you guys didn't know that? It's true.
Oh, you know what? You did tell me that actually. Yeah, now I remember because we were chatting about something once. Okay. We're going to be joined also by former Representative Erik Mortensen. He had a business call before or right at 1 o'clock, so he'll be joining our set here to join us on the conversation and the rebate checks. Who said that on YouTube that they got it? What was the guy's
Ken
name?
A.
Ken, I'm kind of curious. Did you get it yesterday or did it show up today? I'm just curious because they were supposed to start showing up yesterday, And then why are you one of the 100,000 that got it yesterday? That's my big question. So quite frankly, I haven't even checked. I'm supposed to get $1,300. I got family of 5, 3 children.
I checked this morning. I haven't gotten mine yet.
And by the way, you're capped at a family of 5. So like the Tom DePals of the world, they're screwed, right? Because what does he get, like 20? Well, not that Bridget's family's from Minnesota, but
I don't think it's
Kansas.
the kid. I don't think it's the kid part that.
Speaking of Bridget, she still loves our show and still a part of our show, but she was in Ireland. Now she's in Michigan. We just can't hold her down. Like, she's just all over the place. She's a wanderer by heart, I guess.
A free spirit.
A free spirit, yeah. I'm glad she still votes conservatively. Because that's usually not, I don't think conservatives tend to be the wanderer types, although I very much am,
I like to travel around the Midwest, but like I've never really wanted to go abroad for whatever reason. I have once or twice, but not too interested. I don't know.
You got to go abroad.
I have. I've gone to Europe, but it's just like a worse version of here. So,
every place has got its things. I'll put it that way. Let's get into this right away. We got a video here by Tim Walz, our benevolent dictator, who tells us we should be thankful. Actually, let's skip over the beginning part with Walz, because quite frankly, it's a little lame listening to Walz talk. Walz has always been tough to listen to in a press conference. He tries talking too fast, so he gets like this like word salad. Then he gets angry. Do you guys notice that? Like, he's got the laziest media that's on his side, and he still gets angry having to answer questions. Have you seen? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Well, King shouldn't need to answer his subjects.
Well, there you go. That's it. Well, why didn't I guess that? Speaking of Kings, by the way, we're going to be doing the state fair here 1 week from today.
Ooh.
King
you want me to go
Walz's
grab
son.
one of those things?
Yeah, go grab one of those things.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, so we're going to get into this video.
If I turn my mic off,
so yesterday
will it be a problem?
the checks are supposed to show up. First bunch of people. Apparently Ken got his check yesterday, or probably today. And Democrats don't want to miss this opportunity to let everyone know how great they are and why they got these checks. Really, it's $21 billion that we were overtaxed by for many, many years, and all they were able to find out of that to give back to the people is $1.3 billion. So you and I get $260. Let's go to this first clip. This is when Paul Marquardt, if Paul Marquardt sounds familiar, he was a representative. He was one of our targets because he kept protecting Governor Walz's emergency powers. So he saw the writing on the wall. He wasn't going to get reelected. We talked to every voter in his district, so he wasn't going to get reelected. And he decided, I'm not going to run for reelection. But plus, he was a dinosaur. He was up in the Capitol forever. So he doesn't run again in 2022. Do I have that? Yeah, 2022. And then gets announced as the Commissioner of Revenue, Department of Revenue Commissioner. So let's go listen to Paul Marquardt talk about how great this day is. By the way, I don't have audio. Do you?
Yeah, I'm not getting audio either.
Thank you very much, Governor.
I'm not getting audio either.
No, what's going on with our audio here? Wonder if is it in the window? Hey, show them the Biden. This is
Yeah, so if you come to our state fair booth, you'll get one of these bad boys.
That was your pitch there?
What?
That was awesome.
That was a horror.
I think that I want one.
Yeah. This is what you sound like. If you come to our state fair, you can have one of these things, these bad boys.
If you come to the state fair right now, you can order one of these. Get one of these, limited quantity. We're giving them out. It's a fan. How do you make that sound exciting?
Well, you started out so well, William. That you got to sell
No, I didn't
it.
know where I was going with that. Like,
Well, yeah, but you started out well.
we have a couple thousand of these.
We had like over 10,000. What do you mean a couple thousand?
Well, if you make it sound limited quantity.
Oh, yeah, good point. Yeah, okay.
And we also have
only have 500 left.
we also have cool T-shirts, which I'm excited about.
And a sweet ass sign. Did we figure out the audio on the?
Yeah, I think I got
Okay,
one.
let's go to this audio. This is Paul Marquardt talking about how gracious you should be for them giving their money back.
Those back-to-school supplies, the back-to-school clothing, so that we can send our little ones off on those exciting first days of school here in the next few weeks. With that, I'd like to turn it over to Revenue Commissioner Marquardt. To
Just
talk a
pause
little
right
bit
there.
about the specific.
Byron of Assidious, inject a little element of the Casey Kasem style energy. Do you understand that reference, Casey Kasem? We have got to show you guys. Casey Kasem is like an old radio DJ, did like the top 40 on Sunday mornings. He's 100% right on that, right? Is Byron of Assidious, I'm assuming gender here. I assume Byron.
He said his name's Josh earlier.
Josh.
So
Okay, good. We'd hate to get a gender wrong on the show. That's why we call him Chris Finke. Go ahead, play the video.
Fix of what's happening. Commissioner?
Thank you very much, Governor. I'm Paul Marquardt, the Commissioner of Revenue, and this is a really good day for Minnesota.
Okay, stop. That's how you sell something there, William. You say this is a great day to be at the State Fair, and you can pick up your own dump Biden fan. See, Paul Marquardt's showing you how to sell it.
I heard every word of that with my headphones that I have here.
Oh crap, that's right, doesn't it? Well, all right, let's continue playing.
Getting these very much needed, important checks and payments out to folks has been a top priority for Governor Walz and Lieutenant Governor Flanagan for the last 2 years. And this will be significant. It's going to help ease the pain of inflation, help continue to address the burdens created by the COVID-19 pandemic, and as you're going to hear, be able to really meet the everyday needs of folks around
All right,
the
stop
state.
the video. I mean, my God, this thing is going to do all those three things. It's going to fight inflation. It's going to help with the lingering aspects of COVID-19 pandemic, which was really caused by that asshole up on stage, Tim Walz. And, well, give me a second. I get that. And every other need that we have. By the way, inflation up tremendously. Inflation's so bad that T-Wall has to do $20 instead of $10 for a Rumble rant.
There you go. That was a good transition.
Thank you.
To Rumble rant.
Because Rumble rants usually are $10. Well, there's actually no limit, Brad Ganser. There's no limit. You could do more than that, by the way, Brad Ganser. There's no limit to Rumble rants, but T-Wall's usually $10. It's costing more to do a Rumble rant these days. They're $20.
You know what? If someone wants to give us their $260 in a Rumble rant, it'd be pretty funny.
I'll give them a
We won't give you anything, but it'd be pretty funny.
No, hold on one second. If someone does $260 in Rumble rant, we will do something.
We'll give them a fan.
No, shut up. What is wrong with this guy today? We will do so much more than that. Let's see here. A $260 Rumble rant. There's got to be like, you get to be here at the studio. That'd be number one. Okay. So we'll make it a couple things. You get to be here at the. You could be on the show too if you want. If you're afraid to be on there, you could just be in the studio witnessing the show. So one day doing that, and if you want to be in the show prep, we'll do either chicken wings with Tushy or Canes with the crew. Okay.
Ooh, Canes with the crew.
Canes
That's
with
such
the
a good
crew.
idea.
I know,
Good
but
name,
chicken
too.
wings with Tushy.
Speaking of
more
T-shirts, that's
entertaining.
another great T-shirt idea. Canes
Have
with
we-
the crew.
Okay, and then we'll do a Dump Walls T-shirt. So they get
Yeah,
those three
yeah.
things. They get to be in studio for a show, live recording a show. They get either wings with Tushy or
Brad Ganser says, for $266, Jake better dress up like Little Bo Peep. Brad, make it happen.
so.
Make it happen.
First of all, I
Would you
don't
do
think
it?
Brad is mounting a good campaign to get invited back on the show.
No,
First
but
of all,
would
okay.
you-
If he
So-
pays
You do it?
$260,
No,
he
we're
is.
not doing that because just imagine if I dressed up like Little Bo Peep. Brad, you know how many political enemies I have, right? Like that would not happen, right? It wouldn't be fair, all right? So we're not. That's not gonna. No amount of money would do that, okay?
It would
Oh,
for me.
Tucker says 500 is a max on a Rumble rant. I didn't know that. Interesting.
It's good to know.
Brad, if you donate $266, I'll come dressed as Bo Peep.
There you go.
There you
You'll
go.
do Little Bo Peep.
I have no political enemies and also no political friends, so I'm like in the perfect.
Well,
zone
we're your
for it.
political friends. What are you talking about? That kind of hurts. You know what they say, Jake?
What's that?
Truth hurts.
Truth hurts. There you go. I thought you were going to say it's just a hang.
We have a couple catchphrases.
By the way, this $260 is going to solve all those things. Getting back to the subject at hand, right? Like, it's so
Took a detour
pathetic.
there.
Right, and you were just saying about Tim Walz and how Paul Marquardt was just saying here that it's going to help out because of COVID and whatnot. But when it comes to COVID, Marquardt is also just as much guilty for that because as as people probably know that he was voting against ending the emergency powers by Tim Walz. So, that's obviously why he's in this position, because he's a guy who's going to walk the party line, pretend to be a moderate, and, do whatever he's told by Tim Walz.
That's right. Yeah. You do the good. See, this is what happened during that emergency. We've talked about this in the show. They go to these Democrats. They go, you get in line. You do not vote against Governor Walz's emergency powers. Now, why does Paul Marquardt matter here? He was in a big Trump district, right? It was like 56 Trump district. Yeah. And he had already voted against Walz's emergency powers during the election time, right? This is the con artist, right? This is what they do. They pretend during election time, hey, we're on board with you, because that's what the people up in his district wanted. And his district's like way up by Morehead. And then after the election, when it really matters and they could end the emergency powers, they needed 4 of the 6 that had already voted against Walz on it. All 6 flipped. So how do they get them to flip? Well, they say, you will get in line or else. And basically, we're going to give you something, you'll get a commissioner job or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what happened. Paul Marquardt didn't run again. Now he's the commissioner of revenue. Mm-hmm. Hate Minnesota. Walzonomics is likely costing most Minnesota households an additional $300 per month. That's actually a great point. Now, first of all, you can't fully put Tim Walz and the Democrats in Minnesota as responsible for inflation. You also can't say they have nothing to do with it. But the printing press is why we have inflation. It's the larger government spending in totality that is why the Fed continues printing money. So they're all really guilty. And by the way, Tim Walz was a congressman while presiding over all this increased money supply over the last 2 decades, okay? When he was not busy traveling to China or sending love letters to the World Economic Forum, right? Yeah. Right there, Jesse. So Tim Walz is guilty in that regard. But that's why we have inflation. And they say, I don't know, economists, it's about, I did the thing I always do, right? According to they, it costs the average household like $3,000 to $5,000 more under these inflationary times. Right. So what the hell are you saying? $260, these little scraps. They owe you $8,000, by the way. That's if you divvy up the 3.5 million taxpayers from the $21 billion owed back to us, it's $8,000 per taxpayer, right? I don't argue that people that didn't pay in more than $6,000 should get $8,000. I think it should be, quite frankly, Erik Mortensen, who's going to join us soon, actually had the right remedy. It was to just have a tax holiday, right? Mm-hmm. But $260 doesn't even come close to covering this cost, right? So that's a great point. Who was that? Hate Minnesota. Yeah, additional $300 a month. And, and I don't know if Hate Minnesota is saying this, but also we have to remember that the Democrats actually increased taxes on all of us, too. License tab fees, which drunken Dan Wolgamott can't afford, right? I mean, they're so bad. Dan Wolgamott, after he chugs his liquor in a parking lot, can't afford to pay for his license tabs. I really love to know if anyone's following up on that story. Number 2, delivery fee tax. 3, gas tax increase. What am I forgetting? They didn't get an income tax passed.
Sales tax increase in the metro.
Sales tax in the metro. There you go. 4. Mm-hmm. That's 4 right there, right? And they're calling this a sales tax. Oh no, that was the Jesse ones. But I'm sure the Democrats are like, well, people are paying sales tax, right? So this is a rebate of the sales tax. I bought my wife a new car for Christmas, right? Before you think, oh, I'm just swimming in money here and I buy cars just randomly. She was way overdue, over a decade since the last car. So I used that opportunity of Christmas to do it. I always wanted to do that little bow on the car.
Did you?
Oh, yeah, I did.
That's
I
cool.
said, where do I get that bow, right?
Yeah.
And then I did this all secretly, too. That was kind of tough. Turns out it's really hard to buy a car without your wife knowing. I pulled it off. She was surprised. So, but her last car was so old that it didn't have a backup camera, which is kind of scary because we got like an L-turn driveway and we got little kids.
It's a game changer to have that backup cam.
100%, yeah. All right, so let's go to this next clip here. The next clip is this is I think this is when like any press conference, they're going to usher in their political process. Now, I'm not trying to shit on these individuals that are doing the press conference, okay? They just don't know. This happens at every, do you have an important call you got to take?
No, I was going to I was going to be stealthily moving over to the other seat to put on the headphones, but
Oh, gotcha. I was
So I
like,
could hear
where
what's
the
going
hell is
on.
he going? We're just gonna be Jessing me, and then it's perfect. This is just what we want. Just Jessing me.
What's the timestamp for this?
Dawson's got you going to that next. 17:41's the next time.
I'll be
stamp.
moving back once Mort comes back
Oh,
over.
man.
But
Yeah,
Mort's
you
gonna come to
can't
the studio.
necessarily blame these people who are coming up doing the press conference, the regular people, because, you can't blame them for wanting more money. You can't blame them for wanting money from the government that they're overtaxed. Of course, these people aren't political experts or explaining things correctly, but yeah, there's nothing wrong with these people who just want to get some of the money back from the government that stole it from them.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead and play this video.
I'll take questions later if you want, but again, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
No. See, they got the
everyone.
big
I'm
amount,
Ebony
1,300 on the
McMillan.
left, and then
I'm just going
family
to
of
speak
5
on
here.
how this will be beneficial for my family. This comes at the best time possible, right before school. My children do attend a private school, so I have to purchase uniforms for at least 7 days for all 3. So this works out. Also, this will help with toiletries needed or any type of products the kids need to hygiene-wise, keep them going through the year. This will help. It's like a good boost to start the school year out for the kids. And then they can go to school and feel happy and content like everyone else should feel. So that would be all.
That's perfect. Commissioner?
Good morning. My name is Sylvester Jai, and I'm a current student at North Hennepin Community College, where I study liberal arts, biology, and chemistry. Today, I want to extend my gratitude to the governor and everyone who work on making the rebate check a possibility. I am a full-time student. Like I said, I study liberal arts and biology and chemistry. So as part of that, I
Aisha
usually
Gomez,
spend
such a
most of my
weird-looking
days on
person.
campus. I'm on campus from
I say
9
Aisha
a.m. in
Gomez,
the
such a
morning
weird-looking
to,
person back there, isn't
Yeah,
she?
she's got the
9:30
bug
at
eyes.
night.
Yeah, what is with
usually
that
after
bug eye
breakfast
thing?
when I
She's
get
got like the
home,
Angie Craig
there's not a lot of
sickness.
time to make food.
No,
and
that was
so I
cocaine.
just,
Sorry.
She has huge hands. Did you just see that when she wiped her face?
No, go back. I want to see this.
What?
We got a hand comment here.
Yeah,
Just
she's
hit
got-
back one.
She's
5
got
seconds.
huge hands. She doesn't have a problem down there.
Let me see this.
No, I got to do that the next day. So I
What does
just
that
go to
mean?
bed, wake up the next morning, redo that again. So that is there's not.
Those
Yeah,
are big
they're
hands.
rather large
What do you
hands.
mean?
What a thing to comment on.
I mean, William, is
Big-
your hand bigger than your face?
Can you get the camera on me here?
Yeah.
Her
Oh.
hand just looks a little puffy.
Do
you know? It's not long, it's just puffy. She's got puffy fingers.
It's my job to get us off track today, by the way,
I
if you couldn't
guess so.
tell.
What's her hand size compared to Trump's? Jesse.
or her ring size right now, I have no idea.
Oh my God.
William, turn off your other mic while you're over there.
Are we getting an
I was
echo?
wondering what the heck was going on. You sound
Oh,
like
here we
Oh
go.
my God. This is just amateur hour here. Oh.
Hey, it's a hang.
Why don't you read that comment up there, William?
Is it still up there?
Did we lose it already? Oh shoot.
Okay, I'm going back to my other spot.
Go back to your old spot. Then they pull up another guy. So they bring up 3 people and tell a story. Of course, the lamestream media has to respond and basically use those for their talking points to getting out to people. Apparently, not a lot of people are buying this crap. Okay, go ahead and read the comment. What's the comment?
Hold up,
What?
William.
Did
turn
he
your mic
not
on.
put his mic back on? Can't. What you could.
Razzle dazzles, this is why I can't be associate producer because I can't get the mic straight.
Yeah.
Based Minnesota says, William reminds me of Bill Lumberg from Office Space with his monotone voice.
Oh my goodness. that's
That'd be
rude.
great.
That's rude.
Great reference.
I just realized you were trying to do an impression of your slower voice. It took me a while to get that.
There's another comment I want. Someone is supposed to smack Wolf's hand into his face when he does that. I realized when I put my hand up to my face. That
Wouldn't
Yeah,
that have-
that was
right.
wouldn't that the best intro of Mort came on set?
that would have been great.
Oh man! All right, let's go to 22 minutes in here. This is when the lamestream media actually asks some questions, and Walls responds, and the question's pretty good. So let's play this here.
Exactly 22.
No, let's start there. He's about to answer the question.
Questions.
No, that's pretty good. Questions, right? Wait, stop right there. Now, we always talk about the tax chair in the Senate, Senator, and put me to rest, Apparently it's Senator and give me a chair so I can rest now. Look at that. She can't even stand up.
So Jesse fact-checked this for us this morning. She is 81 years old.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? And she's still serving in the Senate. We don't make fun of old people. We will if you still serve in a political office. Like, look at Dianne Feinstein, who's like 90-something years old. Like, it's just elder abuse at that point. Same with Mitch McConnell.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And you listen to her talk, like, she's worn out.
You can see that she's slowed down. But, yeah, no, I mean, there's obviously some, really old people who still have their wits about them. They're still very quick on their feet.
Chuck Grassley's like the one example I can think of.
Yeah,
of a
for sure. And
old.
he's even gone a little bit slower. But, yeah, no, he's still definitely sharp. See, I don't want to attack her just on her age. But, yeah, no, I think there's definitely a problem when people hang around in government for way too long.
Yes.
They just become embedded in the system. And, she should be retired. She should be enjoying life with her family. She shouldn't be in the Senate anymore.
She should be celebrating with her grandkids who may or may not be getting one of these checks.
Yep.
Rest was first elected to Senate in 2000, was reelected in 2002, 6, 10, 12, and 2016. So she has served in the Minnesota Senate for this is her 22nd year in the Minnesota Senate. That's like ridiculous how long you've been there. Like, move on. Let other people join. That's the problem. It's not really that she's losing her cognitive decline because you have to have it first, right? She's a Democrat in Minnesota. There's not much cognitive function up here, right? Well, can we say that? Oh, how dare a Republican say something about a Democrat like that? Of course. These guys actually don't. We're sinner and put me to rest when you got transgender drag queens dancing in front of kids at the Capitol, right?
Hey, Jake,
these guys.
What was the problem with the tax bill? Do you remember there was something that came out maybe a month or two ago? What was that again?
Was this where Gomez and Rest were like arguing behind the scenes?
No. It was like an actual problem with the bill itself. Like there was some sort of
Yes,
there
I know
was
what you're talking about.
The numbers were wrong, or there was
I don't remember hearing about this.
I can't remember. Maybe I can.
Did
maybe
you
I can
write an article on this?
What's that?
Well, I can tell you what's wrong with the tax bill.
Yeah,
It taxes too much.
Right.
That's what's wrong with the tax bill.
Yeah, no, there was like an additional problem.
Here we go. I got
some
it.
kind of
on actionforliberty.com. This is from July 10th. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put it on our sheet, Dawson, so you can pull this up. By the way, Erik Mortensen, welcome to the show.
Howdy.
Representative Erik Mortensen, former Representative Erik Mortensen, the only person in modern time serving in the Capitol who never spent a penny of our surplus.
Yeah. I vowed to protect it, and it wasn't always easy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And they tried to get me. You could tell that probably Democrats and Republicans worked together to try to get me to vote on something, but didn't happen.
Okay, so this is actionforliberty.com. We wrote this July 10th. Since the legislature adjourned, a big sigh of relief came across Minnesotans because we knew that they could pass no more bills this year designed to destroy our state. This is Jesse's writing, by the way. I love how you write. You and William got different styles of writing. Jesse really is hardcore, although I would say grammatically there's less errors from William. But that's okay. The latest session was the ultimate sign. By the way, I'm not like you're that bad, Jesse.
no, I know. I'm just more provocative.
You're definitely more provocative. The latest session was the ultimate sign of what? Okay, I'm going to get past that editorial. Okay, the Democrats' tax bill had a massive error that will result in Minnesota's losing out on around $1,000 in tax deductions and having a tax increase of $210 each. Is this what you're referring to?
Yeah.
So they literally screwed up language, and now we're getting taxed more. So, by the way, $210. So basically, there goes your surplus that's supposed to solve COVID-19 and inflation, according to Paul Marquardt. It's a provision that reverts our tax deductions to 2019 levels. Okay, yeah, I totally remember this now. So there you go.
Yep.
And you do put further blame belongs to the Democrat leaders of the Tax Conference Committee, Representative, as we call her, the tax witch, Aisha Gomez, and Senator Ann Put Me to Rest. Despite the responsibility being on all committee members and members of the legislative generally, the ultimate guilty parties are Rest and Gomez for pushing a bad bill they didn't even read. Mm-hmm. Did you know that legislators don't read bills?
That's so obvious when you're in there. There's no way they read them. Like, no chance. When they say, here's a 1,000-page bill and You know, you got it 30 minutes ago, and you're going to vote in 10 minutes. Like, nobody's reading that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
206. Let's go back to video. $260 that they are giving us back, just little crumbs. We're owed $8,000 each taxpayer. So who's to blame? $206 versus $8,000. Who's to blame? Here's the question to Tim Walz by a reporter. I don't think you can hear the question. Republicans are saying it's much less than the $2,000 you talked on
well,
the campaign.
it's a lot more
trail.
than the zero that they asked and called them gimmicks and
Stop
vote
right there.
buying and all the other
We'll
things.
stop right there. Zero. When did the Republicans ask for zero? Now, we fault the Republicans for, like, what did they call for 1,000? It was ridiculous. At one point, Walz was higher than the Republican Senate. Remember that?
Yep.
Yeah. Walz, I think, got to 2,000.
He got to 2,000 on the campaign trail. He kept upping it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, and that's what's funny about, Tim Walz is blaming the Republicans for the wrong reasons, but, the Republicans are to blame in some ways, too, because they were voting to spend the surplus. They were voting for these bonding bills and whatnot. So, in a way, Tim Walz is right that Republicans have some blame here, but, they have the majority. They had the votes to pass whatever they wanted to.
Yeah, so listen how he finishes this answer.
Look, they're running out of things to complain about. The economy's going along. When anything good happens, it's something bad. We worked together on this. Certainly, I wanted a little bit more, but we compromised together. We worked from
Compromise
their
with
zero
who?
up to this $1,300 per these families that we got to. But once again, if that's their point, they're certainly not going to be able to take any credit for this because they could have had more had they agreed back in 2022 for
Who
this.
the hell's in charge of our government right now? It's the Democrats. House, Senate, governor. What are you talking about? How are Republicans at all the blame for this thing? And by the way, this isn't a Republican love show. You guys know that. Watch this, right? This is not a Republican love show. The Republicans have a lot to blame, but on this, they don't because they're not in control of the government. And we were even like screaming, Republicans have one thing they can do. They can stop the bonding bill. And they got nothing for it. Of course, the Republicans right now, they're going around complaining or championing that they got more government spending because they got more spending on nursing homes.
Yeah.
That's their big win. And they wonder why they don't connect with their base.
Even worse, like Democrats were taking the credit for it. Republicans were like, oh, no. This is going to be our hill to die on.
Yeah.
We got the funding for the nursing homes, not the Democrats.
Exactly.
Just ridiculous.
Yeah, I think they're on a bonding tour right now. I saw the Senate Republicans. They posted on their page that we're touring this state looking for bonding projects again. Like the Republicans in Minnesota, frankly, are not much better.
Is it on
They're
their
certainly not
Facebook
fiscally
page?
conservative.
Right.
Is there a Facebook page? Where is
on
this
their
thing?
Facebook page? I think they're in
I
Alexandria.
want to see this photo.
I'll find it.
Yeah, you find it, put it in on the thing because that's always hilarious. I could never see a Representative Erik Mortensen on a bonding tour.
On a government spending tour.
Yeah.
Right.
Or one of those like Caribbean things they send legislators down to that it's
What?
always questionable.
I could have went to the Caribbean.
Don't you know about this stuff? They
No.
like these questionable funded trips. Oh, it's so unbelievable.
It's so weird. I didn't
We've
get
got
those
a-
invites.
Yeah.
Question for an economist. I'm far from being an economist, so please, someone correct me if I'm wrong here. Given that if we have a surplus, shouldn't we hold that in reserve in the event of something like a statewide emergency?
No. And by the way, we were talking about this in the show. The media tells you it's a $17.5 billion surplus, and our numbers are $21 billion.
Yeah.
You know what the difference is? No one counts the rainy day fund. Now, why does government have a rainy day fund? Like, I'll tell you why you should have a rainy day fund, because you never know if you have unplanned expenses, right? You lose a job. You have a big car issue, right? So you need a rainy day fund. Government does not need a rainy day fund because basically a rainy day fund means, well, when something bad happens, government doesn't go down like the rest of the economy and you and me. So they've been holding on to this like close to $3 billion of our money, keeping our economy for at least a decade more.
Yeah.
And you would say, well, okay, but it's a rainy day fund. So when's it rained? I don't know. Didn't we just have a pandemic? And they never tapped into the rainy day fund. So why are they holding on to $3 billion of money? So when you really put the numbers together, it's much higher than the number they told you. They still actually have $3 billion they can give back, and they should give that back.
And Jesse was right. It would have been higher if Republicans had to vote. They voted to spend like $2 billion of the surplus in 2022.
Right, and the bonding bill. I mean, that's the only leverage that the Republicans really had during the entire legislative session, because you require 2/3 of the vote, or 60% of the vote, whatever it is required for passage of that bonding bill. So, that's the one opportunity Republicans have, and they let it pass on by, and then they end up voting for it. A lot of them do, wasting our money just like the rest of them. So,
did we get the page?
Yeah, I put it in the show notes.
Do you have it, Dawson? I want to watch this.
Where is it in the show notes?
It's like underneath that tweet at the bottom of the show. I can get the column.
Yeah, I always give them a reference. F15
Corruption
maybe,
or
something like
stupidity?
that.
No.
It's a Facebook link.
It's a Facebook, and it's a image
It's
of them.
row
I'm
14.
guessing Karn Halsey's on it?
I am on
didn't
row
look
14.
yeah.
Oh,
I
shoot.
bet.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you fail to...
Yeah,
it's-
it put me in the wrong day for some
I'm-
reason. Sorry.
I'm good at my job, guys.
Oh, I know that,
swear.
Dawson.
Row 15.
Everyone sees Williams the problem today. Everyone sees this.
Yeah, even
A lot
that-
of people say Williams a problem. Not me, but a lot of people say it. But he's coming along. All right, let's look. Zoom in on that pic. Oh, did I guess that or did I guess it? Karn Halsey's on the bonding tour.
Which-
She is, I think, on the bonding committee. So from right to left, God, it almost looks like
Oh,
Tony
Tori
Jurgens.
Westrom and Rasmussen are standing next to each other. Are they
Yep.
buddy-buddy now?
Yeah. Well,
After Rasmussen forced him out of his seat?
well, he's just getting in line. They all do. Can't find more beta males than in the Republican Party.
Yeah.
Karn Halsey in the front. To left, I don't know who that is. Then you got, what's that?
Is that Sandy
Dibble, Scott
Pappas?
Dibble. I can't see behind him. To left is Pappas. What was our favorite thing about Pappas this last legislative session?
Pay to play.
Pay to play. I know, so much fun. Get some House members in there. Yeah.
I've got a question. Who the heck is this guy in the background? Who's this?
That I don't.
Why
Yeah,
is
I
it
can't
not-
tell who that is.
Yeah, I've
But
never
that
seen
face
like
does
that.
look familiar. Why? I'm having a brain fart here.
Could he be a staffer or something?
No, probably not.
The question is, why is he hiding? What does he have to hide?
What do you know about Maui fires?
Yeah.
Zoom out. Let's see another picture here.
They got a nice coach bus there, too. Look
Oh,
at
well,
that.
come on. It's in style here. And it's very important we go. It could have just been the business owner because they're doing these tours.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking it might be.
Yeah. God. I mean, can you imagine a more lame group to go hang out
Yeah.
with, too, by the way?
Oh, I
Or-
know. The conversation's got to just be awful.
Yeah.
It's got to just be like so annoying and irritating to be around them.
Well, because they're all like trying to subtly brag to each other, I'm
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
the whole time. Oh, well, I worked on this.
Well,
Well, but
yeah.
I'm the one who got this done.
It's a huge
Congratulations,
circle jerk.
Karin! Like your big project's happening. Yeah, be
yeah.
like, oh my god.
It's a huge circle jerk, no doubt about it. Okay. Lindsay asked, did we ever find out what kind of wine William picked for his dinner party? It was decided by Rumble Rant. and
Was
you
that
went-
not put in the clip from the other? Oh,
Yep,
it was?
there's a
Yeah, we got a clip. You can go to the channel. You got a. What did you buy?
I think I wrote down the name here. Let me check. It was good.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, the audience helped me pick out a wine to bring to a dinner party. It's,
Actually, it was a wine that he wanted to bring, but we allowed the first Rumble Rant to decide what he was going to bring, and if they picked Phillips vodka, if you were going to Wolgamott's party, you'd probably bring that. Wouldn't make it to the party.
it was Luis Jadot Boujalis.
A Beaujolais.
Beaujolais.
So you bought a Beaujolais.
Yeah.
Okay.
bougie.
Let's go last clip here, and then we'll move on to NASA's propaganda. 28 minutes, 30 seconds. We're going to talk about NASA, but we're not going to talk about aliens today. By the way, you notice all that alien talk and everything, and I think I'm very happy with like center right in America right now. It seems like they're starting to like flex their muscle with protesting. What's the word I'm looking for? Not protesting, but
Boycott.
boycotts, upping up good songs, rallying behind Trump, even though the Republican Party, oh my good God.
Whoops, my bad.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
really bad.
totally accidental. And Well, now I forgot what I was going to say. No.
Jump scare.
Yeah, that was good. All right, let's go ahead and play this thing. 2830.
Right-sizing it with respect to targeting to folks who need it the most.
Tucker
And
says it's true.
She
the
really
other
stopped there.
goals
She
that we
really
had
is
to have
sweating.
with, in the tax bill.
That's
And
the
I
wicked
would
tech
say
witch.
that, Representative Gomez and
This
I
is
were
Ann,
constantly
put me to rest.
looking at the various combinations of help to families and children, whether it was through the free lunch program. We followed that very, very closely, and adjusting our expectations, not just in the rebate checks, the refund checks, but also in the child tax credit, and just who was going to be affected as soon as possible. And what's so great about the rebates is that it's right now. It's right now. The checks were in their bank accounts just
She's got
now.
William
And as I was
Sells
listening to
sailing-
this
or,
young man
William
who's
Sells
a
skills.
college student, I said,
No, I couldn't say that.
Oh my goodness, my
Sales
granddaughter's
skills.
going to
Sales
get
skills.
one. I'm going to call her right away and say, look at your bank account. You filed a tax return in 21. Look at your bank account and see how much you got.
Hey, let's stop there. Do you think there's a chance? Because I would imagine most college students aren't filing tax returns. They're still dependents on their parents. Is there a chance that she calls her granddaughter and goes, look for your $260? And her granddaughter's like, it never showed up, Grandma. And she's like the tax chair. Like, are you lying? Is this fake news, Grandma?
Well, I just
Right.
can't stand. Maybe you guys talked about this before I got in here, but the fact that there's this hoopla and this pomp and circumstance, this press conference, and all these legislators to sit there and celebrate $260. Like, we're all going to be taxed far, far above the $260 with their $10 billion in tax increases.
What's
But
what's so
we're
dishonest?
supposed to sit here and say, yeah, exactly. I saw Wells posted about it on Facebook, I think yesterday or this morning. And it's kind of fun to read the comments because you can see there's a fair amount of informed people who know that this is like, 6 cents on the dollar of what they're actually owed. But the people who don't pay attention, whatever you want to call them, they're just praising him and thanking him. Oh, thank
Free
you
money.
so much. And yeah, it's so disturbing that people have no idea they were overtaxed to the tune of $8,000 per taxpayer, but they're high-fiving Walls for $250.
I mean, what does 260 buy? Like 6 trays of lemon bars these days? What is it? Tucker, Grandma thinks 260 is worth what it was in the early 1900s. Let's do this here real quick.
Yeah.
Go to the NPR article, and let's look at Jesse checks for those that have been in Minnesota for a while. You can look literally what was done during Jesse Ventura, because he had a we figured this out, $3 billion a $3 billion
$3 billion surplus and 800 million was given out.
Okay, and I'm going to post an inflation calculator here. We're going to go to F16 there, Dawson. So, and zoom in real quick. So under Jesse, and they call them Jesse checks, there's really a rebate on the sales tax is how they sold it. But it came down to individual. You see there $232 for a single filer. So Walls is given $260 back for a single filer. Jesse's administration $232. And by the way, let's see here. Were Democrats in complete control in 2000? I don't remember. Okay, but also in that article, really funny story. They talked about the federal government's surplus. I mean,
The federal government surplus. Oh, okay.
yes.
Yeah.
The last, so fiscal year 2001, the federal government had a surplus. It was the last time they bounced the budget. Republicans had the House, and Clinton's last thing, and then Bush took office, obviously, the latter part of that fiscal year. And they actually had a budget surplus. We've never even come close to it. We have a $1.7 trillion deficit every year, basically, now. But they actually had a federal surplus. 20, let's see, we're fiscal year 2023 still, till the end of August. Sorry, I'm nerding out on you guys. So that's 22 years ago.
Did Jesse have a cap on that $232? An income cap?
I don't know. Did that article say anything? Can you go back to that article real quick? I don't know. And by the way, capping it is ridiculous because, and this is, I'm glad you brought that up. I don't think it says anything about that. Capping is ridiculous because the people who are capped out of it are the ones paying the most of the money. And in this case, if you made in Walls' case, $150,000.01, you don't get a dime. It's not like a phase out, like a IRA deductions, where you get like a $10,000, $20,000 cushion room. It's like you make a penny more. I shouldn't say a penny more. That was ridiculous. They always round down in taxes. So if you make $150,001, you don't get the rebate.
Well, lower income voters are easier to buy off. They're cheaper.
What are you trying to say there, William?
It's a bribe. You kidding me?
I thought you were going to go like the Biden route where he's like talking about low income voters and then make it like a black comment. Isn't that what Biden did?
You don't vote for me, you ain't black.
Yeah, no. Remember when he was like trying to say poor people,
poor
but
kids are just as talented and just as smart as white kids. Yeah,
it was interesting that all the people paraded there as the political props were black people.
Yeah,
as I was like, wait, do I get a tax rebate from Walls? Right? Why are you would think that they would carefully? This is actually kind of shocking to me. You would think the Democrats would have a bunch of different ethnicities, certainly Native American. Where's Peggy Flanagan, by the way? And where was the trans person getting the rebate? Are trans people not getting the Tim Walz rebate?
This is literally trans
That's
genocide.
a fair question.
Yeah, I know. They're all identity politics. Turns out you have to be black to get the rebate. By the way, I want black people to get their money back too from the surplus, okay? But where were the trans represented in that press conference? That's what we need to do. We need to start an institute. Other than the North, maybe this is a mission of the Northern Poverty Law Center as well. But you demand, how they demand on Hollywood that there's a trans actor in every movie? We must demand every press conference by Tim Walz has a trans actor.
Don't dare him. He will do it.
Well, it'll be a pretty good troll.
Actually, someone from the comments earlier said that Gomez looks like Rachel Levine with his glasses off.
I think somebody else said she was Shrek.
Yeah. See it standing there. All right. Let's go to the inflation calculator here. Type in if in 2000 I purchased an item for $232, then in 2023, and let's hit calculate, then in 2023, it'd be $411.85. So in other words, Tim Walz, with a much larger budget surplus, is giving back less money than Jesse did 23 years ago.
Mm-hmm. And Ventura had a way smaller budget. The budget by the state was, probably, millions and millions of dollars less expensive. So, right. And when we're talking the percentage as well, considering that he gave a third of the surplus back to the people, obviously we want it to be 100%, but a third is a hell of a lot better than, whatever we're talking about here, 6% or whatever it is. So it's pretty ridiculous that they're, that they're continuing on with this. And, it's funny that they're doing a press conference to pretend like this is some big victory. And it's funny that Tim Walz wants to pin it onto the Republicans, but I think most people see the truth if they're doing any kind of digging into it.
Right. T-Wall, it's all about virtue signaling. That's usually what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering where the trans actor was in that press conference. So, unfortunately, let's go to this next story. I'm scrolling through Instagram on the Instas this morning, and, I follow NASA because, hey, I think they're going to be the first to tell us about aliens, right? No? Okay.
To gaslight us, maybe.
There you go.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. No, Joe's starting to believe it's just a government psyop, which I kind of agree with him. So I get this. This is from 2 days ago, but I just see it. And they're talking about NASA confirms that July 2023 was the hottest month on record. They say, we'll go 3 paragraphs down. This record-breaking summer is part of a pattern of increasing global temperatures caused by human activities, especially carbon dioxide emissions. Overall, annual global temperatures have risen about 1 degree Celsius on average since 1880. When I read this before, what did you say about that, Jesse? 1 degree Celsius?
I don't remember.
Oh, was that not you or was that William? Like, this is America. What are you saying Celsius for?
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was you. So, by the way, since 1880, hottest on record, and you guys know this, and this is why we were kind of discussing the Maui fires. It's like they want this narrative, and remember a couple years ago there was a bad hurricane season, and they're like global climate change. Oh, hurricanes are the worst ever, and then they've been moderate ones, and they're like, oh, they shut up about that, and they got a hot summer, right? Everyone, you guys all know the gig here, so I'm not telling you something you don't already know. They go on to say, since day one, the Biden-Harris administration has treated the climate crisis as the existential threat of our time. The President's Inflation Reduction Act, the largest climate investment in history, is strengthening climate resilience in communities nationwide and positioning the U.S. to achieve President Biden's goal of cutting climate pollution in half by 2030. I'll read that again. The President's Inflation Reduction Act. Do they even listen to themselves? I'm glad, by the way, when you look at the comment sections, they're getting roasted about the propaganda, right? This is NASA. I like following NASA because I want to learn about the planets and all that kind of stuff. What's coming out of the new, I can't think of the new satellite they got, or a telescope. Drawing a blank on that one that they launched, but they're getting great images from. But that's why I follow NASA, and I'm getting this propaganda. Apparently, a lot of people are mad of it. But I couldn't help but look, the Inflation Reduction Act, which is not Tim Walz's rebate checks, for you guys don't know. The Inflation Reduction Act passed by Congress to spend more money, because that's how you fight inflation, is actually really a Trojan horse for climate change. Did you find out how many Republicans voted on that? You were going to look that up. The Inflation Reduction Act?
None in the Senate.
None in the Senate? Any in the House?
I didn't know we were curious about the House. I can look. But Base Minnesota gave us an $11 Rumble rant and says NASA gets $69 million per day and was founded by the Nazis that came over after World War II via Operation Paperclip. Shady organization.
Yeah, Werner von Braun.
Yeah. By the way, what do you think?
That's interesting. Good for Base Minnesota for being on top of that. Most people have no idea that NASA was created as this secret underbelly government that brought in a lot of the Nazis, and we never really get to know exactly what they're up to.
Do you think Base Minnesota was real based and put $11 to show the inflation of the Rumble rants? Do you think that's what's going on?
Maybe.
It's an interesting amount, right? So let's pull up this tweet. This is the narrative by the left. This is how dumb these people are. No, they're not dumb. I shouldn't say that. This is how deceitful these people are. They're just evil, right? If you don't believe they're evil, just look at this. None of these guys are speaking out against drag queens dancing in front of children. This is Amy Klobuchar. This is the hottest summer on record for the whole entire year, or whole entire world. That's why we passed the Inflation Reduction Act to significantly decrease greenhouse gases. The time to act is now, not tomorrow, not 50 years from now. And that's why we got to lock you down in your home and have a social credit system. And then I wrote, or we wrote, using your logic, I wish you would have instead passed the Greenhouse Gases Reduction Act to decrease inflation.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what they're selling to the folks out there. What did you want to say with Maui? I'm very curious.
Before that, I just want to say that, there's also been times in recent history where the coldest temperatures ever recorded for a certain day have also happened. So, it's not like it's just that it's getting warmer, because we've also seen in winter that, there's been some super cold days. So, that, and also, on the climate change thing, I think everyone is basically in agreement on a couple of things. Like, obviously, we want clean oceans. We don't want garbage islands, but and we obviously don't want cities covered in smoke and smog and whatnot. But that doesn't mean that we can allow a socialist, communist agenda to, allow us to, lead us into climate lockdowns, lead us into, taking away our electricity, and especially, imagine America when, in a couple of years, just as India and other developing countries are just now getting air conditioning units and technology and everything. Imagine if, these leftists in America came up to them and said, oh, no, you can't have that anymore because we just used up all the environment. We just used up all the air. So these Democrats, all that it's really about is control. On to the Maui stuff. I don't know all the answers. I'm not even going to really claim that I know what direction it is. I just think that there's some questions to be asked, because I found that the government there in Hawaii defended the decision not to sound sirens as the wildfire was going on. Who knows why they wouldn't want to sound the sirens? That's odd to me.
Yeah, but this is all Republican-controlled area, right?
Of course not, no. And also Hawaii Electric, the electric company that has all the power lines out there in Hawaii, they didn't turn off the power. Why would they not turn off the power? It seems like that's exactly what you'd want to do as you see that these, as you see the electrical posts are falling down, as you see that things are starting to catch fire. You'd think that they would be wise enough to turn it off, but apparently they weren't. They're considering Hawaii is banning the land sale of burned houses. I'm not exactly sure why that would be, something that the government should be interfering with people on. I think the people should be able to sell their property as they see fit. But also some people are worried that the government is going to force them into these sales. So, Hawaii also passed a proclamation maybe a year ago that said that they want to be able to turn things into smart cities in the future in the case of natural disasters just like this one. Bill Gates would be deeply involved with that. Let's see here. Yeah, there was direct, anybody can look up direct energy weapons. They happen on the ground. They happen in space. Whether they were used here, it seems like
direct
it to me.
Direct energy weapons, like are you saying laser? What
right.
Are you saying?
Yep, and this is stuff that it's out there. I think it's the government of office and the Governmental Office of Accountability. They've released video footage of our government using this kind of stuff out there before. So, and as we all know, from months ago, China was caught putting lasers into the Hawaiian airspace there, where there were these green barcode lights flashing across the air when we see the Chinese weather balloon, or the spy balloon we should call it. When we see everything that's going on with China and, maybe others, I'm not going to accuse others, but I think there's several countries and several maybe even people within our own country internally who are looking to, use this climate agenda against us. And the wildfires, that's what the governor wants us to believe. And the governor, he's arresting people if they go and try to save their family, if they go into, the wrecked area. And also, I put a video in here as well where it shows that people who were putting together all these supplies, good common people putting together supplies, were rejected. The government wouldn't take the supplies because they're not FEMA, because they're not the American Red Cross. And because of that, they're going to allow these people in Hawaii to suffer. And I can't understand why they would be handling a disaster like this. It proves to me that Joe Biden cares more about Ukraine, he cares more about China, he cares more about the illegal aliens than he does about the citizens of our country.
And so let's go back to this idea of, if they were to do this, what did you call it?
Direct energy weapons?
Yep.
Direct energy weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Who's doing it and why? What's the purpose behind it?
That's the thing. I don't know. I'm not going to blame China. It could be China. It could be Israel. It could be lots of people.
Israel? What's Israel doing that for?
You'd have to ask Marjorie Taylor Greene on that one. But I don't want to get into that anyway. But no, I mean, the U.S. has direct energy weapons. That's all out there. And, it definitely can help push this climate change agenda, because if they're telling us that the wildfires are the result of climate change, then they can, they can use this forever as, as an example of things that they can point to for climate change. So that's my opinion of it.
Well, I think there is something to be said about potentially man-made fire, or like someone had nefarious intent and started a fire because they want this climate change narrative.
Well, and also they get to have this new smart city set up by Bill Gates. It sounds like the Hawaii governor is a real sketchy guy, a real skeptical guy that we shouldn't be trusting. And when you look at the sheriff of Maui, he's the same guy who was the reporting officer during the Las Vegas shooting. Remember the Las Vegas shooting where the guy, there's only one picture of him, it's real blurry. There's multiple people shooting, but they can only find this one guy. His brother goes on TV and all these interviews looking like a crisis actor. The Las Vegas shooting was one of the most questionable things that has ever happened in our country, because we never got a straight answer on what really happened there.
So Bad Hat Harry says too much speculation and conspiracy theory.
I agree with that. Yeah.
I think it's too early to be making speculations. There is room for healthy speculation, but not while people are dying, in my opinion.
I think it was a downed power line, and they were in a fire watch.
You guys are naive. You guys are naive.
I'm not saying that.
And I'm not, and I didn't blame anybody, but I can see what you're saying. You know, maybe we don't want to, you know, but I just did, so it's too late for that.
Dawson, I sent you a video of Biden reacting to the fires.
Why don't you read Based Minnesota? That's pretty funny.
I love Jake's Israel. Heck no. Shout out to avoid being deplatformed. Well played. What? No, Israel. What?
He's like, he knows.
We love Israel.
He knows. What's this? Okay, let's watch this video. This is Biden. No comment on Maui.
Any comments on the rising death toll on Maui?
Will you come talk about the Hawaii response, Mr. President?
I guess we didn't need
Well,
audio.
I mean, listen, he's the same age of Ann Put Me to Rest, so there's a chance he just didn't hear it.
Yeah.
And he needed to sit down as quickly as possible. So that's probably all that is.
Honestly, that could be, though, just because, like, you know, he is an old guy. You can't imagine he's hearing everything most of the time. You know, if you're around planes or you're around cars or, you know, there's a lot of things going on, especially if you have 5 people yelling questions at you at the same time. I know that I would probably just say, I don't even know what they're talking about. I have no idea what they're saying. All the words are getting mumbled and jumbled. So imagine handling that while you're Joe Biden. So I can't even imagine the stress he's under. We got some bug flying around in here.
Yeah,
Are you guys
I am.
seeing that?
I am. No, none of us see it, Jesse.
Yeah.
What bug?
Are the bugs in the room with you right now?
Yeah, right.
In response, because Tucker did make a point saying the state did say they wanted to buy up the land. That's
Yeah.
true. I think, and Daily Wire did a bit about this.
That's a good point.
They said that they wanted to do that so that it wouldn't get bought out by corporations looking to build more like vacation homes, because apparently housing's in like really low demand.
Right. I
in
imagine
Maui.
that they're saying it under, you know, under the guise of
As long
something
as
good
it's not like
that. But I don't
forced.
believe it.
Well, that's a fair point. That is something to question. I would assume it wouldn't be forced buybacks, but who knows?
Yeah.
Freedom Junkie, which is a great name, says it's really fishy. That's kind of where I'm at. It's just like, what's so funny?
Oh, sorry. Brad Ganser's comment. Jesse is now a Biden apologist.
Real fishy. That's kind of my thing from the get-go. I was like, this is a fishy story. And I can't put my finger on it.
I've seen footage of somebody on the scene interviewing some local, and the local said, look, I was walking down the street, cars were stacked up, people were trying to evacuate the area, but the police were stopping people from evacuating. And
Really?
interesting. Is it true? I don't know, but the guy spoke with a ton of credibility. And then I've seen people posting pictures of
Can we
these
find that
houses
video?
decimated. But then in the middle, you know, you got all these houses destroyed, but then there's this, you know, this single tree still standing there. And I'm sure, you know, nature and tornadoes and then things, you can have destruction in one area, then 2 feet away it's not. But it just, the images looked really strange. Like, how does a tree, you know, wildfire like that's moving 70 miles an hour, they're saying, still have all of its leaves and it's green and it's amongst
Yeah,
the
you would think
houses?
just the
I actually
Strange.
looked that up because I was interested in what the tree was doing standing there because it's a really cool picture.
Can you show it me? I am not.
William, can you?
up
I
to
just
speed on this.
posted, if you go to line 17, you'll get the picture. I think this is what you're talking about.
Maybe.
Yeah, it was something like that. That's not the one I saw, but
So there's a picture somewhere of just like this one lone tree standing like next to all of this ash and rubble, and it's because the tree actually has like fire retardant chemicals that it will put out when it's sensing high heat, and if it's a tropical tree.
you should put
It's
that in
always
houses.
So
Yeah,
right.
Whatever that is, put in lots of things. Well, what I want to see this video that you're referring to. Some guys
I wanna
not
say it.
allowed
I
to evacuate.
Saw it on Fox. Yeah, they were interviewing an older gentleman, and he said he was just walking down the street and cars were backed up, and he said ahead of the cop that was blocking traffic, he said there was no traffic. There was nothing that was really stopping these people from evacuating other than this police officer.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys know this. I think that I read, is it 5 people that are confirmed dead that they found?
100.
No, it's a lot.
Well over
Oh
100.
man, I don't know what I read.
over 100, yeah.
Do we
Yeah,
have?
maybe I saw something that they found 5 that day or something. 'Cause,
Well,
yeah, I just
nothing-
was skimming through something.
Yeah, it seems to be
Nothing's
pacing about
popping
5 a
up,
day.
but I'll keep looking.
I'm gonna find that later. I'm kind of curious what you saw. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Something, that's all I can say is something fishy about this whole thing, right? I don't know what else to.
Yep.
Say,
Sirens not going off, not allowing people to
Tucker
evacuate.
says 1,000 missing
Really
still.
strange.
How's there 1,000 missing? There's not even 1,000 in that community.
In Maui?
Well, I think
not all. Is he saying all of Maui? Because I thought it was just a small part of it.
The whole thing with
15,000.
fires
Okay.
is that they grow, so a small area, but
Yeah, I'm seeing thousands are missing.
that's so messed up.
Yeah, it's just a really. Yeah.
If
If there are valid conspiracy theories, I'm sure we'll hear more about them in the mainstream. And not saying that you need to rely on
Not
the
from the mainstream.
but
They're
from
not
like-
going to tell us.
From like
The mainstream conspiracy theorists.
From like the alternative mainstream.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, like the
Tucker
Daily Wire,
Carlson's.
Tucker Carlson. Yeah, those people.
I know that the fire watch level was at 5 when the thing hit, so no matter what started it, it's real not good for anywhere over there.
All right, let's go to this thing. Target misses on earnings. Pull this article up. We wrote this. I think a lot of you guys probably know this at this point. Hey, Facebook actually. Did you see Facebook? This had a lot of interaction because we get no interactions on Facebook these days.
I've actually changed the strategy of how we market on
well
Facebook.
Then
So
quiet. No. Trade
yeah, no,
secrets in
sorry.
there.
This story has done very well.
No
on
trade
Facebook.
secrets unless you're the CFP. Then you can ask all the trade secrets, right?
2 people will get that joke.
Yeah. Woke Target's sales drop in newly released quarterly numbers. So you guys all remember the Take Pride displays at Target. God, what? Oh, here we go. The giant missile retailer who faced significant backlash for its overtly political Pride displays posted a 5.4% drop in sales in quarter 2 of 2023. Target Corporation CEO Brian Cornell confirmed to reporters in a call that the backlash against the Pride displays had a, quote, material impact on sales. According to Target, it's having difficulty convincing shoppers to buy more than the necessities in its stores. Apparently, even online sales are down like 10%. One of you guys told me that before?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In quarter 2 of 2022, the retailer posted a 2.6% gain in sales. There's no reason summer would be a bad quarter, so right, this is kind of unprecedented. Plus, all you guys that need tuck bathing suits, that's where you go, right? Target has subsequently dropped its sales and profit projections for the year. Piling onto the problems, and this is the thing that I don't think a lot of people remember, Target faced a group of woke attorneys generals in blue states who sent a threatening letter to Target CEO in quarter 2 about its decision to pull the Pride displays. Joining the group was Minnesota's Antifa-loving AG, Keith Allison. We wrote about this back in June. We click on that link real quick. And this, at the very bottom, Dawson, this is Keith Allison. And it's
Keith
just
Ellison
like
is not a good Muslim. You know,
Well,
don't Muslims I was thinking the same thing about Obama. You know, if Obama was actually a Muslim, he wasn't a very good one because,
no, he was a damn Arab.
Yeah, well, he can be
he's
both.
not an Arab.
He
He's
can
a
be
good man.
both.
He's a good man.
He's a good, decent man.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like most Muslim people, they think that like the transgender stuff is just like totally against Allah's word. It's crazy to me that, and I've shown you guys videos before where Muslims are protesting the transgender and LGBTQIA whatever agenda. So. It's just interesting that, Keith Ellison and Ilhan Omar and some of these other Muslims are falling on the side of the trannies on this thing because you'd think that if anyone might stand up against it in the Democrats, it might be a Muslim.
It's not that. I mean, people have beliefs and there's like a hierarchy, right? I'll never forget the story on one of my deployments, and I got, my soldiers eat first, okay? If there's food remaining at the end, let's just say it's hot chow, not like an MRE, but we're out in the field, and we let the interpreters, get the chow. And 2 interpreters go through, and the first one just scoops up the big old thing of pork, and the second one goes, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "What? It's a pork." He's like, he's hungry. It's like so, and I think that was probably Kosovo. He's Albanian first, then Muslim, right? His ethnicity is more important than the religion. So what is Keith Ellison's hierarchy? 100% Marxist first, right? It's not Muslim. That's not higher than him. Yes, I know what you're talking about. Devout Muslims would put that as the hierarchy. Devout Christians, same way.
Right, we
There are a lot
shouldn't be
of
surprised because there are a lot of quote-unquote Christians that actively promote this stuff, same with abortion.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Exactly. Okay, so Minnesota Attorney General Keith Allison penned a letter to Target CEO with 14 other attorneys general threatening the company. Now, just imagine this. This is in hindsight here. Q2, Target has seen a drop in sales, and they got 14 attorneys general basically, I'm sorry, 15. That's included, so 15 including Keith Ellison, basically with these veiled threats against Target, and this is what they say: states have laws protecting against discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation and gender identity in places of public accommodation like Target stores. That's a quote, and that Target should be, quote, mindful of its obligation under these laws as it makes decisions as how to respond to backlash against its Pride merchandise, end quote.
Yeah, as if those laws come crazy.
Oh, well, read the letter, which is in this article on actionforliberty.com. I mean, it's a beautiful. I went in, there's Starbucks. I turn around, there's the Pride display right when you come in. I'm like, oh, are you serious, guys? Because it's not Pride Month anymore. It's Pride 3 months, right? They go in May, they set up. They're going to actually have a problem. They're going to be competing with Christmas displays in May with Pride, right? So they had... and they have it up through July, right? So it's not Pride Month anymore. It's like it's basically May through July. And then the story broke, right? I didn't see the tucked swimsuit, but I'm just like, this is disgusting. We have not stepped in a Target store.
Yeah, I love the boycotts. Like the left has been boycotting things successfully for years, and then it like builds their little political power, and they make corporations and politicians and all sorts of people fall in line. I wish we were better at actually boycotting things.
Yeah, we need like a counter to the ESG movement.
Hell
We
yeah.
need our own score of these corporations.
I've thought about doing it.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Probably a good idea for the Northern Poverty Law Center to have a scoring system, right? So we were talking about this in the show prep, that the Bud Light one's interesting. Because if you think about Bud Light, first of all, they got two very enormous competitors, Coors, Miller. You're a Miller Lite guy. I think Miller Lite's the best of those three big light beers. Coors next. You like Bud Light. You said more taste-wise. But they got...
well, hold on.
Of the
slander
three.
me.
Of the three big ones.
Everything aside, yeah, like I used to drink Bud Light, and then I stopped.
I wasn't slandering you. That's kind of how I couched it. So they're all kind of not great beers, right? Okay?
Yeah, it's just an easy beer to get down.
Correct. I don't think anyone's going, Bud Light's the best thing I've ever tasted. Okay? So if it's not that delicious, right? Let's just say like an Alaskan Amber. That's a great beer, okay? So like that I'm having good thoughts of. It's like Bud Light, let's just be honest, it's a cheaper light beer. You got two great alternatives. So
it's very cheap right now, by the way.
Yeah, it's very cheap. And so honestly, that was the easiest boycott ever. I wasn't even buying Bud Light before it.
Yeah,
there's
me
no
too.
way I'd buy it now.
Exactly. I never bought it before.
Right.
And I wouldn't buy it in the future. So it was easy to, but yeah, someone like a Target or the Walmarts when you got very little competition. Speaking of little competition, like government, I'd love to boycott government.
Yeah.
When they have a monopoly on force, it's a little tough to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what could you do? Well, there's Ham's $13.99. My American Legion's got Ham's $2 taps. I love it.
Tucker made his Howenstein pitch again, which we still got to try. Supposedly they have it at Total Wine.
What does a 6-pack of that cost?
It's a question for you, Tucker.
I think Tucker did a Rumble rant last week, so we'll buy it. We'll buy it.
We should bring back the evening shows.
Well, yes, we will for sure. When we have a reason to do an evening show, we will definitely bring it back. Oh, well, we'll have to live broadcast Trump going into court because apparently that's going to be on TV.
Ooh,
When's that?
Do we know?
We don't know, but it's probably not going to be 1 o'clock our time.
He
so
says it's like
whenever
$8
it is
for a 6-pack.
$8. Okay, we'll buy one. We'll drink it. We'll drink it on this show so you can see our reaction live. Okay. It's not just that our side is boycotting, and yeah, I appreciate what you're saying, Mort, because the left's done it forever, and now we're starting to do it.
Powerful, you vote with your money and your feet. I think that's a great way to go.
I don't think it's just the negative side. I think it's also the things they're promoting, like Jason Aldean And in the case of this gentleman, what's his name again now? Oliver something? This song. Where is this?
But isn't it kind of fun when the left is boycotting things lately? Like, it goes viral. The people pushing it make millions. Jason Aldean, like, everybody's heard of this song now. And now this new guy, Oliver something or other, like, when they try to boycott a lot of things, it just blows up in their face, and it gets even bigger.
Yeah, Sound of Freedom.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's a great example.
Surpassed Indiana Jones. It's like 150 million. Oliver Anthony. What is that stupid Wisconsin beer is $38 per case of bottles. No, whatever.
Is that which one
Probably
is that?
Hams he's talking about.
Oh, Hams.
Oliver Anthony. So Oliver Anthony, let's play this song if you guys haven't heard it. I'm making an assumption some people haven't heard this song yet. This is an amazing story. This gentleman. Now, first of all, I think two things have to exist. You have to hit the right cultural moment, which I think he does. William disagrees, but we'll let you make your argument.
Whoa, that's not what I
tell
was
people
saying.
what you said before we watch this.
You're making it seem like it's this hardcore Republican conservative thing, and I'm saying it's an anti-elitist thing.
You were not saying.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Fake
no,
news.
that's
Total
exactly.
fake news. A lot of people say
Lying
Williams,
Jake Duesenberg.
lying.
They say he lies a lot. I would never say that. They say he lies a lot.
That's
Like,
why
no,
I'm
that's
over
what I
here
was
and you're
saying.
over there.
I am very.
You did not say that. You were basically saying, well, he's not a Republican. He's not a Republican. That's what you were saying.
And then you were saying, yeah, he is.
You guys see what's going on here. Do you want to hear another interesting thing?
Exactly what.
So I was working from home yesterday. William's at the office, and I call him. He doesn't pick up. He's like, I'm getting lunch. So I say in this chat, I go, how's Panda? Or call me when you get back from Panda. You know what he says? Yeah, you're a Panda Express.
Hell
fan.
yeah, I'm a Panda guy.
So he goes, oh, lucky guess. I go, what are you talking about, lucky guess? And he's like, well, is it 50-50? I was like, not 50-50. You're going to do Chipotle, Cane's, or Panda.
Well, no, in my mind, I eradicated Chipotle from the equation.
Yes, but your mind's irrelevant here because it was my mind who guessed accurately what you were doing.
So your mind is superior in
No,
in the equation.
my mind is the one that has the odds here. You had three different options. I didn't know what was in your mind at that time.
Well, the odds for me are different from the odds for you.
Well, you had three options, and I picked it right. So then he leaves today for lunch before the show, and I say, Dawson, he's going to come back with Cane's. And what did you do?
Came back with Cane's.
Came back with Cane's.
But I told him yesterday it was a coin toss between Cane's and Panda.
Okay, but I'm
So
still defeating the odds because that was 50-50 using your logic. If today was 50-50 too, that means I had 25% chance.
So it was either.
No, just answer 50-50 because I can't do
that.
It
was 50-50.
Yeah, okay. So 25% chance I got those two right in a row.
So there's a Panda around here? If we're gonna
yeah. It's like
I'm going there after this.
Panda. All right, here you go. First $260 Rumble rent. You also get Panda Express with William and Mort. By the way, Mort's going to be on a show every Thursday now. So thank you very much for joining us. Actually, next Thursday, we'll be doing the state fair. Hopefully, we'll bring you guys live. We'll be in studio, but we'll be doing live from the state fair with you guys, which would be sweet.
That'd be very cool.
Okay, so this, so here's the story. William thinks, oh, this is nothing important, but we all see the cultural aspect of it.
Well, first of all, it's also old news. Like this went viral last week, I think.
No, it went viral like over the weekend, right?
As far as I can tell, I finally just listened to it like 2 days ago.
There you go.
No, it's good.
Saturday
It's
is
a good
last
poll.
Why are you such a hater today, William? You are such a hater. Is it? I think that Bill
What are you
Lumbowski or
talking
whatever Lumberg, the Lumberg comment was accurate. There's so much hate
first
coming
of all,
from you.
What hate comes from Bill Lumberg? He just walks around with his coffee. He's like, yeah, if you could get to that.
Yes, it's the
that
passive
TPS
aggressive. It's a
report,
passive
that'd be-
aggressive hate. That's why everyone hates.
And he makes you come in on Saturday. That'd be great.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
That'd be
Saturday.
great.
Exactly.
No, there's no passive aggressive hate here. It's actually very directly aggressive.
No,
hate.
hold on one second. You know Office Space.
Yeah,
Do you know that movie?
Of course I do.
it's a great movie.
Then why the hell
Classic.
do you guys not know Super Troopers? How have you guys
I'm
seen Office
familiar with
Space and not Super
Troopers.
Troopers?
I don't recall what the movie's about. I've probably seen it.
Are you saying that those two are on the same level?
Yeah, 100%.
I actually disagree.
Do you agree, Mort?
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
agree with that.
Both fantastic, different workplaces, but it's workplace humor, right? Because a cop sees Super Troopers, like, yeah, that's the shit right there.
Interesting.
Well, we're not cops. Now you were in the military. Maybe that's why you have more of a.
You kind of understand a little bit of that nature, I think, from it. A lot of differences. All right, so
I want to say for the record, William was hesitant to call this song like a conservative song, but I was also on his side.
yeah, but you didn't know it. You had not even heard the song, and to this point,
Right.
you have not heard the whole song. Because we
heard-
start getting this argument, and then I'm like, guys, save it for the show. And then
Okay,
William's like,
you
I'm going
did-
to take the
you
next
did not
hour
say
to
that.
figure out how to
You did not say
change
that.
my
That was
view.
William
I
saying
did
that.
not change my view. I'm the
No, but
most
you
consistent
said,
man
William,
maybe ever.
Hold on. Truth
What
hurts.
you said was he's not a Republican. You made it sound like it was a bad thing.
Yeah,
You know,
truth
oh,
hurts.
he's not a Republican. You know, and it's like,
No,
well, who
because
cares if
Jake
he's a
is-
Republican if he believes the right stuff?
Sorry,
because Jake-
truth hurts, William. This is the
Because
truth.
Jake was trying to make it sound like, oh, this guy's the next like big deal of the conservative movement. I'm like, it's not necessarily. Here's what. No.
You always do this,
Here's-
William.
no,
You
no,
put
no,
words
no.
in my mouth.
No. So here's what the argument was. It's not just a conservative message. It's an anti-establishment message, and it's a universal message too. Like people read into the song what they want to, but it's definitely anti-elitist. I think that's
Yes,
the main
but that's
point
the
of
point I was
song.
making because what you were pushing back on, I go, this guy is just like us. And you're like, no, he's not a Republican. I go, that's not what I'm saying. He's just like us. That's what we were arguing about.
Which is poor. That's what you're
Which
getting.
is poor, yes. Happens to be true. I only got 200. I don't know if I got my 260 back. Let's play this video so everyone can see how wrong William is. Just kidding. Don't let me bias it. You let us know what you think. If you haven't heard this video, I'd be very curious in the comment section. Tell us if you've not heard this before. Go ahead and play this.
Also, rip YouTube copyright stuff. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours
See, William?
for bullshit pay, so I can sit
Yeah,
out
but
here
again, I don't have
and waste
headphones,
my
so-
life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end. 'Cause the rich men, 'cause the rich men. I wish politicians look out for miners, and not just miners on an island somewhere.
See, we're against that,
Lord,
William.
We got folks in the street,
Against
ain't got
what?
nothing to eat, and the whole beast
can't hear.
milking welfare. Well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end. 'Cause the rich men, north of rich men.
Damn. Gets better every time. The first time I heard it, I was like, that's good, but man.
I love it. I love the dude's voice. I love
Yeah.
that he's got a little Luke Combs look going. I'm a big Luke Combs guy, and the folksiness, the guitar. I dig that.
Yeah, usually I don't like stuff that goes viral and popular, but that is pretty good. You know, that you can see that guy's got a unique voice, unique style, and everything. I think it's pretty awesome.
Okay, so I got a killer idea. Budweiser, listen to me. Is it InBev? InBev that owns them?
Yeah.
Budweiser. Who's there at Budweiser? That CIA guy.
Anheuser-Busch.
CIA guy. Yeah, Anheuser-Busch. Mr. CIA operative, the CEO.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about.
It literally was a you didn't know that?
What are we
the
talking
CEO
about?
of Anheuser-Busch was a CIA operative.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, whatever, Jesse. That's just another conspiracy. Nope.
Yep.
Wikipedia right now. So there's the conspiracies right there. The government wanted them to do it. You sign that guy right now. It's going to cost you a lot of money because people are going to think he's not authentic, and he's like huge on the authenticity. Sign him right now. Put him on every freaking can you can. Yeah, burn the Dylan Mulvaney ones. You might save your company. That's it, right there.
So this
That's what you do.
guy isn't or he is nonpartisan. He quote sits pretty dead center down the aisle on politics and always has.
Yeah, he represents what Trump found in the people, and this is what we
I
are.
think that
More and more.
I think that this guy would fucking hate Trump. That's his whole point, isn't it?
No,
No.
that doesn't sound like it.
He might not like
he
Trump
seems
as
like
an
a
individual.
regular guy, yeah.
He might not like Trump as an individual. I've always
Right.
been that way. I haven't been a big fan of Trump as an individual, but Trump tapped into something so deep and so pure that we. What? Why are you looking
What
at me
are
like
you
that,
talking
Dawson?
about? He is part of the elite that he's talking about.
Oh my God, Dawson.
Well, it's
Dawson.
an interesting.
Getting
Dawson,
interesting
Dawson,
now.
Dawson.
No, but that's an interesting point he's making because he's
Yeah.
a billionaire and he's been in those
Yes.
circles. But yet Trump communicated to the people that have been forgotten by politics.
I totally missed this lyric in the song. When is he talking about Trump tapping into the rich gold mine of
Oh my
pure
God, you're worse than
morality?
William. Holy crap.
This
That's
is
why
I've
William's
stopped
coming over on
talking
our
at this
side.
point. I
Yeah.
I mean,
don't care
it's
anymore.
up to the interpretation of the listener ultimately.
That was my initial point.
No,
like
it's
you
not.
could
It's
also
not,
make
it's not an ink blot,
you could also
guys.
come at this from a Marxist perspective and be like, oh, it's about the bourgeoisie or whatever. You know, it's what you read into it.
That must be why it's going viral.
The
Do you think
proletariat,
that-
you mean?
Do you think that
Oh,
something that was so like pro? Well, I mean, if this was directly affiliated with the message that
No, I meant the
we're trying to
bourgeoisie.
push, would
No, I'm
it
saying
have
he's
the ability to
representing
go
the
viral?
proletariat, right? Or you're
Right, I
saying
know,
he's
but I'm
against the
talking about
okay.
the
They don't even listen to me. I don't know.
Well, because your
You
opinion sucks. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, I had to get that out. Go ahead. Go
Well,
ahead.
so-
I'm sorry, Dawson.
No, if
okay?
he was-
Don't
if he
report me
was-
back to Langley, okay?
If he was just like us here, would he have been able to go viral? Wouldn't people?
Well,
hate
he
it?
just seems like a regular guy. I think that's all that Jake's saying by saying he's one of us. You know, I think he's just a regular guy. And obviously, if we were to, get in the nitty gritty of the issues, I'm sure that me and him maybe would have differences on trade. I'm sure if we got in the nitty gritty on issues, of course, just like any person. But, and it says something about him if he's able to create this song that people are interpreting in different